One of the questions in the comment section was how to install a bushing in this housing right here. And just let's kind of talk about that. And this, most of the time it's not the housing that needs the attention. Most of the time it's this shaft right here. This one, if you put the micrometer on it, let's do it again. So that means that's worn 5.5 thousandths. And the way that goes in there, in the back and up through there, okay, if the way this shaft is worn is from here outward, it's the original size. There's nothing you can do with that. And that has to go through the hole. So when you put a bushing in here and you ream it back out, when you ream that out to the correct size for the part that has to go through there, you have to be able to get it through there. Okay, when you do that, when it gets up to this part right here, it's still, this one would be 5 thousandths undersized, so you'd still have the play in there. The 9 times or more out of these M's, it's the shaft that's worn, not the housing. And this is a standard machine shop replacement. These 2 drilled, I'm not going to do one now, maybe later we'll repair a couple of them. But they put the shaft in there, and then they drilled 2 holes, one on each side, and put a bolt in there, and then sawed it off or broke it off. Most of them looks like they're broken off. And that secured the shaft to the gear. And to disassemble it, you just drill them out. The shaft comes out. You put another one in there. You mill the keyway, put it in there, and then affix it back to there. The timing on these, if you look at the marks, timing marks, which is right here, these 2 teeth right here and over here, they're marked on that side. And if you're looking at it from this side where the keyway is here, the timing marks are over yonder. It's like a half a tooth off from a quarter of a round. So you can do some, if you have one that's rusted away but the gear is still good and you can't find the marks on it, you can do a little whatever you call it there, math maybe, and find the center of this on the tooth here, and then count the teeth around to here and get it back in the correct time. It puts 2 marks on there. With all that said, it's not much help when you're sitting there with the bench and you only got one of these. But it's that simple. This is not no big deal to time one of these McCormick Deering. It is quite easy, and it's one of those engines where that you cannot get it wrong. I say that, and I think it was a mechanic's trick. I have taken in years past, I have disassembled engines that was running, but they run okay, but they needed to be rebuilt for different reasons, and I disassemble the engine, and the engine would be assembled 1 tooth off. And just my thinking is that the owner of those engines, and it may have been, I did have 2 of them. Where is it at? This one right here. If you was here on site and could look at these 2 cams, this one right here is wore quite a lot right here. It's worn enough to where that when you're looking at it, you can actually see it if you have another one to compare it to. If this was the only one you had, you would never know it was worn. But when you got 2 of them, it's apparent that this is worn really bad. So you actually could time this engine to make up for that by moving it 1 tooth whichever way it's worn, frontwards or backwards. I'm not going to go any further on explaining that. That's all I'm going to say about that. This one is really good, hardly no wear whatsoever. And there will be a difference. All of these type are the same, but there will be a difference of these ones are solid, and this one, well, there's a couple of those examples where this is, well, it saved some metal when they did that. But I don't know, this right here was on an engine that was all assembled, but it was not running. I bought it, you know, it's one of them. This was a auction sale engine. But it's sometime in the past, and they've done a really, really good job. Kinda, well, it impressed me enough to where I decided to keep it and give some study to it as why they would do this. And at this present time, I don't know. But you can see the brass part that they built up. A mechanic did this for some reason. Actually, this is cut down. If you're looking at them side by side, this part of this lobe over here is cut away, and then the brass part is built up here. And it's built up. If you compare them, it's quite a bit more. And I you know, I don't know I don't know what purpose that served. It's going to require some. If you have any comments about this right here, type them in down there. We need to know. And these are, you know, they've all got the same part number on them. The difference in, and these right here will be found on the very early models, the one that don't have as much material in there. I have noticed that.